something I really struggled with. I know it was portion control. It's not like I eat, my plate size is usually big, but then I know that if I'm to measure it with a cup, it will probably be round up to like 3 cups or 3.5 cups. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Judith as usual. Right into today's topic, right? It's been a whole ride trying to lose weight, right? And there's so many things that I had to consider in place before losing weight. The reason was, why am I actually losing weight, right? I know that a lot of times people tell you that, oh, you need to love yourself in the body that you are in before you start to lose weight. That's, for me, it wasn't so. So I wouldn't say it's a complete lie. But yes, initially I started with, oh, I don't like the way I look and this and that. But then there's something about not liking the way you look, and then there's something about doing something about the way you look, right? So that was the why. And I think for the longest time, I was saying I wanted to lose weight, but it felt like I was deluding myself, because I discovered on this journey that for you to achieve certain things, you actually have to change your mindset towards that particular thing, right? And also, my husband wasn't really tough on me. He wasn't even talking about my weight. So, I mean, I was just relaxed. I said, anyway, he still finds me attractive, and but the truth of the matter was, I no longer found myself attractive. And that was when it hit home. I struggled with like this weight for the longest time. Like for 4 years, since after having my son, I've just been on this journey. Like it's been from one, I'll lose, I'll over add, I'll lose, I'll over add. And this past 6 months has been pure bliss for me, because I've watched myself lose weight, I've watched myself maintain the weight. I've just seen a totally new, different person from who I used to be, right? And one other thing that actually pushed me into losing weight is that I wanted to break the stereotype of, oh, it's from your gene. Oh, your people are always big. Oh, my dad's sisters are always big. Like it was getting to me, because if there's something about me, I hate having a certain kind of narrative pushed about me. And I've always been a slim girl before I got married, right? I was the size 10. So imagine, from size 10, I went to size 22, if not 24 self. It was that bad. And the truth of the matter is that it wasn't like I was eating 5 times a day, 4 times a day. It's just that I didn't have the right attitude to food. In terms of, I wouldn't eat in the morning. I'm never a breakfast person, right? I would not eat really in the afternoon. Then when I would want to eat, it would be 1:1, right? And then I'll eat more likely like twice, afternoon and night, towards the night, and then I'll go and sleep, and I'm not moving around and the rest of it, right? So it got worse. And then there were things I actually liked, I had to cut off on this journey, right? One thing I'm going to say is that if you want to go on a weight loss journey, it's very important you tailor your body and you work with what your body wants. You need to know yourself and understand what works for your body. I know I've been, you don't want to know the amount of money I've spent on a lot of weight loss classes. And it's not like it wasn't working. It was working, trust me. I was going to lose like, oh, 3, 4 kg. But then boom, I'm back. And then I realized that you're the only one who can truly actually set your goals, tailor your body, and then monitor what works for you and then work towards it, right? So with me, I know that losing the weight that has been dormant for like 4 years was going to take a whole lot. I've lost 25 kg plus, and I'm still going forward. As at the time of filming this video, I've lost 25 kg. I went from 133. So you can imagine the amount of imagine the amount of weight I struggled with. It was, Jesus, I wouldn't even wish that on my enemy, right? Like I struggled. So now I'm at 108, right? And the things I did were a bit extreme, if you ask me, because I know that my body loves extreme. And I also knew that, considering that this weight had stayed for a while, I had to shake up my body. I had to trick my body into losing weight, right? And then if there's something I would usually say that works for me, because I would always say do what works for you, is that taking teas, it work for me, not like the rampant anyhow tea, or no, that's not what I mean. I don't even waste money on things like that, but like I make this guava tea. I'm going to be inserting some pictures as well. I make this guava tea where I would take in the morning and lasting at night. Usually it helps to flush out my system. Like guava, the leaf, like you wash with salt and then you boil. I think in one of my other YouTube videos, I'll be attaching the link here also. I have like a lot of videos on preparation of that. And then I made hibiscus tea also. Hibiscus tea with cloves, mint leaf, cinnamon, ginger, and lemon. And trust me, they are safe because I'm prone to ulcer. And one thing I noticed is that the hibiscus leaf actually heals your ulcer. Whenever I take it, it just makes my stomach very cool and it makes me some sort of sleepy. And aside that, I have to go to toilets frequently to actually pass out, you know, like it feels like I lose a lot of body water weight by taking those teas, because I tend to go to the toilet and pass out a lot of urine, a lot of fluid, and I noticed that I am lighter. So before I started on this journey, I actually took those teas 2 days before starting up on this journey to flush out my system and then to actually prepare my body. And then 2 days also before, I started cutting down on my food. I was trying to tell my body, now we're going to get into something serious, right? That is on the preparatory stage for starting this. Then I did something for myself. I went to the mirror and I looked at myself in the mirror and I told myself, you're too beautiful to do this to yourself. Yeah, I'm not saying weight loss is a bad thing, but I've never been comfortable being big. It's not my thing. There are people who find it comfortable and I love their confidence. There are people who embody being on the plus size, and let's believe you're just going to want to be you're you just want to be on a plus size forever, right? I don't know if I'm going to live like the plus size, right? But I don't want to be obese. I want to be healthy. And also coupled with the fact that I had to tell myself that as a medical radiographer, I see my patients working every day with BP, high blood pressure. And what are one of the indications that makes you prone to have this high blood pressure? It has to deal with weight. If there's something about the body, when there's excessive weight in the body begins to accumulate a lot of illnesses, and I didn't want that for myself. I want to live long. I don't want to be the one who will cut my life short and then people will be like, oh, something happened to her because she was big or something, like, so I just love myself enough to do something good for myself. So I had to tell myself, you have to be selfish for you. You're not doing this for anybody. You're not doing this for your hobby. You're not doing it for your children. You're not doing it for your parents. You're not doing it for your siblings. You're doing it for yourself because you love yourself and you want to bring back your confidence. Because I was just swimming in between low self-esteem, depression, mental health issues, binge eating. I do depressed eating. When I'm very depressed, I eat a lot of rubbish. Even when I'm not hungry, I'm just eating. So I had to let myself see the better angle, that I loved myself too much to put myself through this. And that was just all I needed. Then also I had a note made on my phone where I wrote out like daily affirmations for myself while going on this journey. I had to tell myself that you can do this. Every single person that I've watched on TikTok who started it up, where most of them are even bigger than you. So why do you think you're not going to be able to do this? Meanwhile, I'll be inserting some pictures of my before and my now, so you can understand the reality of how bad it was for me and how I was able to walk myself through this stage, right? So I told myself, you can do this once you put your mind to it. I've known you as a go-getter. There's nothing that has ever really stopped me from getting what I want. So why would you let some weight, baby weight or whatever, define you? And it was one of the best decisions I made for my life. Because after that, next thing I did, the most important thing I would think that helped me through this journey was God. I told God that, Father, because I am going to keep serving you, I have a journey with you. I cannot afford to lose my life before completing my journey with you. I cannot afford to die a careless death because I didn't want to look out for my weight. I could not afford to continue this. Oh, this foundational. Oh, you've all been big. It's normal. I want something different. I want to change it. I said this genuine prayer, and I don't know, but God just said it. Like He came through like never before. Then I also told myself that instead of with a challenge, I said I was tricking my mind into we're doing a challenge. Oh, it's exciting. Every day you take pictures for yourself and all that. And I didn't start with a restrictive diet. Rather, I did intermittent fasting and OMAD, meaning I was eating once a day. And if there's something I really struggled with, I know it was portion control. It's not like I eat, my plate size is usually big. But then I know that if I'm to measure it with a cup, it will probably be round up to like 3 cups or 3.5 cups. And my kind of person, I would rather just have it once than cut it into shreds, right? So I decided to go on OMAD. So I did the OMAD fasting with the intermittent fasting where I would not eat from I would only eat at around 2, probably end up eating around I'll be done eating by 2:45, and I would fast from then till the next day around 2, the same time, right? So it was more like 22 hours fasting or something like that. And the good thing about intermittent fasting, I learned you could take water, you could take teas, and you could take just teas and coffee is plain coffee is normal. Like it helps you also, it doesn't stop your fasting. So that was what I was doing. I was alternating with eating just one meal a day and taking my teas, the green teas, the hibiscus teas, the guava leaf teas, and alternating. So instead of like every single day I was going to take a picture of my exercise, and oh boy, when I started, like you can see here, I had a lot of weight. Like I didn't even know it was doable. So I started up with first 30 days taking pictures, and when I was done with the first 30 days, I went with another 30 days. That was 60. From 60, I added another 30 days. It was 90. From 30, I added another 120, and I didn't skip a single day when working out for the past. I think it was on the 4th month that I started shuffling after 2 weeks. So more like I did 72 days. No, not 72. That was 3 months is 90 plus extra 2 weeks, which is a total of 7 7 14, 90 plus 14. So I did like a total of 104 days without skipping my exercise. I'm also going to insert a video like to show you the back to back all the days I kept count of my exercises. I never skipped a day. I showed up every single day. And even for times when my period will show up, the dedication I saw in myself, my period could not even hold me down. My husband, everybody was like, I would never skip my workout for everything. I would do my workout as early as 4:35, 5, and then prep for school. Prep is in for school. Mind you, right now I don't have a nanny. So I had to do everything myself. So and with time it got better. I think after the first 60 days, which was the first 2 months, I got addicted to the exercise. I couldn't just stop exercising. I loved the exercise. I loved the rush that came with the exercise. I loved every single thing I could feel with the exercise. I felt so alive. I couldn't wait till the next morning. I was always looking forward to, I want to work out the next morning, right? And I also made sure I was doing 5,000 steps a day. So now I know you'll be like, oh, this is a lot, just take your time. I said, tailor it to suit your body. I went extreme because I knew that the only way I was going to lose that ridiculous amount of weight was to get extreme. It was either go extreme or you're stuck where you are. And I couldn't afford to be stuck. I was done being that big. 133 was the extreme. Like, if I would have another child, where will it be, right? And I know that, and for the longest time, I gave myself excuses like, oh, I've had 2 children, I've had 3 pregnancies. I was always making up excuses because, I've had 2 full children, I've had 2 births, oh, I've had this, or maybe it's this, and I've gone through all the whole postpartum, and this happened, this did not happen. And I would just chip it in here. I think that when the fat actually started was after I had my first child, and I lost him the first week after I had my baby. Depression set in. I would not want to do anything. I'll just sit down one place. I would cry myself morning to night. I would eat all sorts of rubbish. It started from there. I didn't even care about the way I look. Coming from someone who has been known to be like, anybody used to call me, my mother used to say, "Maleta." I would always that child that when other people are going to play with their friends or just, I'm always in the house looking for one makeup or one thing to apply or one jewelry. Like it was always shopping, fashion for me. And I couldn't believe the version of myself I was actually seeing after I had that child. Oh boy, trauma is real. Trauma took me to another level. I think that was when, before I even took it for my second child, I was at 115. So imagine that I've lost my pre-baby weight, like my pre-baby weight for my second child. I was at 115 when I took him for Zim. So after I had him, I was like 120, 125. But after I had him, I even lost weight immediately. You know that stress of after childbirth and everything, I lost weight to over 90 something. I don't know how I found myself back to, that breastfeeding hunger. I was just eating, especially at midnight, and I went over to 120. And I don't know how I started from 120, 120, 4 years. In 4 years, I was in between. For 2 years, I was stagnant at 125, 120, 122, 23, 20. I was not moving anywhere. Before you know it, 128, boom, 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 130, 130, 132, 33. And I had to myself, before you have the next child, are you going to be at 160? So it was a very big eye opener. And I didn't want to have a high risk pregnancy. Being in the medical line makes my senses to always be alert, because every day you see patients coming to the hospital, you see a lot of illnesses, and I don't want to, be the one that would actually bring all those things to my doorsteps because I couldn't just adopt a healthy lifestyle. So meanwhile, by the way, I'll be showing you, I have my wine here, so you permit me because I'm a bit thirsty, so I'll need to sip a bit. Okay, so back to what we're saying. I have on that tray the things I actually used. So I had this green tea, which I actually started up with. I'll take this in the morning with apple cider vinegar. In the morning, early in the morning, after my workout section. And then when I'm done, I would have this also as well towards I usually have this at night in the evening. So when I'm done eating in the afternoon at night, it helps me to tidy up my stomach, because I noticed that after taking this, it keeps me very light. And I don't know, it didn't make me to stay awake at night. I know that a lot of people complain about green coffee, that the caffeine keeps them awake at night. It didn't do the same for me, but it was just so helpful. And after this, you have to take like 3 sachets of water. So you can imagine, or 2 sachets of water. So I'm like overfilled up. So these were the things I was doing to actually sustain me, right? And then these were also the things I used. This is cloves and this is mint leaf. I use this in preparing my hibiscus tea. I don't currently have hibiscus tea in the house right now because I need to restock on that as well. But I was using it to prepare with the cinnamon and the rest of every other thing I needed to make those teas, right? But then another thing I did also was, after the first 2 months, I had to swap. My body got used to the OMAD and I wasn't losing any other weights. I was stuck and I was scared of entering a weight loss plateau. So what did I do? I immediately decided to rotate to having 2 meals a day. But the funny thing is that I wasn't actually having a meal. I was still eating just OMAD. But then at night, I'd have like a protein, egg, I could buy suya, grilled meat. Like I just had to have something, because it meant that at the first 2 months I was losing with less than like almost 500. I was only eating like 500 calories, 600 calories. And after 2 months, my body was like, okay, I'm starving. I need to keep storing this fat. So I had to switch. And when I switched immediately, I went back to burn mode, right? And one thing about losing weight is, in your first 10 kg, it's not going to be very obvious. Your clothes are going to become a bit loose. And I'm going to be showing you, like, my clothes became extremely loose. Even right now, when I buy clothes, and in the next 3-4 days, because I'm still working out, I'm not maintaining yet, I'm still losing weight. So in the next how many days, they become extremely loose. So at the point, I had to pause on getting new outfit because I was still working on myself. There was no need to keep changing my wardrobe. I'd rather just amend the ones I have and manage until I was done losing weight, right? So the next 2 months, I shifted to 2 main meals. After I did that also, my body also came to a place. I lost another 10 kg in the space of another 2 months. That was it. It was around the 5th month that I had to move up. I was struggling with eating twice a day. It felt like I was feeling guilty for eating twice a day because my body was already used to once a day. But at the same time, I needed to keep tricking my body to lose weight. I was eating enough for it to begin to use up the stored up fats, right? So also this is where this comes into picture. I got this Winston diet protein shake, protein ultimate diet shake or something. It also keeps you full. So I would usually have this as like morning meal, and you know, have my main meal as well around that 2:30, 3 o'clock, and that'll be that for the night. I'll just have green tea at night. Then also for my apple cider vinegar and chai seeds, I'll usually prepare this in water and leave it for a while and begin to take it. And we all know one thing about chai seeds, it helps to keep you full, right? So my weight loss journey was as a result of consistency in exercise. Before, if you know me, I didn't love exercise, but when I started like a challenge, and if there's something I'm going to advise you about exercise, don't start on the first day and kill yourself and then you lose it. I started with routines I could keep up with. So I loved jumping jack, and I knew that if there was something about jumping jack and skipping, it helps you to lose like overall body weight. So I asked myself, what number of jumping jack do you think is sustainable for you? And I said, I think I can just do 100 every day. Is not something I'll skip. Even if I have to take it in rep and sections, I'll be able to complete it. There's no excuse as why I won't finish it before going to work. I also insert some clips of how I was struggling with the jumping jack. I was taking 2 sets a day, 20 sets each. Then I was doing leg raise, like wall leg raise. I was also doing wall press up. I was doing like 30 reps. Wall leg raise was 50 reps. I was doing side twists, 50 reps a day. I was doing dumbbell lifts, 30 a day. I was doing there was this back flip stretch or something like that. I was doing 20 a day. So I started with just like 5 routines of exercises, which I did every day constantly for the past 3 months. I lost weight. After 3 months, I touched up on a bit of exercises because I noticed that, if you notice, I still struggle with my arm. I've lost a lot of weight, but my arm makes it very difficult for people to actually notice that I have. Anyone who hasn't seen me in a while, they usually scream because I've lost like a very big, huge amount of weight, right? But what I'm saying, that if my arms were not so big, like, you would notice that they've been a massive, massive weight loss. But because I struggle with my arm, most of my fats were actually dumped on my arm and my belly. So I started doing more of exercises. Even right now, I'm doing more of exercises that would target at the stomach area and my arm area, so that my body would be balanced in that way, and also my broad back and all that. So these were the things I did, right? So, like I said, the first thing is changing your mindset and do what works for you. Study your body, find out what you think is actually attainable for you, what you think would actually be able to you will be able to sustain. I didn't do portion control. I didn't do that. But I didn't eat out of proportion as well. I just did OMAD, eating once a day. Even when I switched to twice a day, it was just having something like fluid like as well. I also had the option of having, sometimes I'll make cocoa powder with no milk, cocoa powder and apple cider vinegar. Yes. So literally I was like, it was still like doing the same thing, right? Except that some days, even when I said I want to make 3 times a day, when I have that green tea in the morning, at night I have protein, and that was just what brought me through to this point. And I'm just so grateful to God. I didn't know this was attainable, right? I'm also grateful to the few videos, the people I saw their videos on TikTok that motivated me, and that's why I decided to share my story, right? When people have motivated you, you don't know who you'll be motivating. As after after I shared a video, one of my videos on TikTok, I had a few of my friends, high school friends, reach out to me that, oh, they saw my video, oh, what happened, oh, how did I do this? And it feels good to be able to help them. I don't think I want to be monetizing helping people to lose weight. No, of course, this was just all on God. I don't even know how I did this, but I just believe that you can tailor it to suit your body. You just have to work to your body. You don't need to outdo your body. You don't need to overstress your body. You just need to do what works for your body. And trust me, you're going to lose weight. The first 2 months is going to be very bothersome, right? But just don't give up. Don't start up with excuses. And the reason why I felt like I wasn't skipping my exercises was that I felt like once I started skipping, I was going to slack because exercise was not my thing. Or my body has gotten used to exercise, and now I don't think I can stay that long without being active, like exercising. Like it feels like my body's going through like this meltdown. So I don't think I can put myself through not having to exercise. So you know how they said if you want to form a habit, it takes 21 days. If you want to break a habit, it takes for exercise, it would take more than 21 days. Trust me. So it took me 60 days to build this lifestyle and adapt to it and stick to it. And since then I've been loving it. I love that every new day my confidence is growing. I'm getting back to the girl I used to be, the fashionable girl, the girl who loves makeup, the girl who would walk into a room and heads are turning. Because for long I didn't know what that girl was. I struggled with a lot of ridiculous and then the side comments from people, especially when people that knew you when you were slimming, like, oh, what happened? Do you want to gain it? And people even suggest that my man is going to leave me for being fat. Hey. And the funny thing is that that was definitely not going to be a motivation for me to lose it, telling me that a man was going to leave me for being fat. Excuse you? Excuse you. I don't care. So I'm glad I did that for me because that was not the right thing to even say to me. So when people say that to me, I just laugh in my head. I'm like, these people, they don't know that saying, trying to make you, oh, your husband leave you. It's not even the worst. It's not even the best advice to give to me because why? Why? If a man would leave every good thing, every beautiful thing you bring into their table and their life to leave you because you added weight from having their babies, then something must be wrong with them. So it wasn't a thing for me. I was like, no. And I'm happy I did this one because the best thing is that you're doing something for yourself. You're going to love every single sense of it, like every step of the way. Documenting is going to feel like, ooh, I can't believe I made this year. Oh, looking at it, you're going to look at the beautiful memories. And so let me tell you something. When I started working out, I influenced my husband a lot. Ha! My man was joining me to work out almost every day. Every day he would be like, ha, I need to work out too. You've worked out, I've not worked out. And I think that's that thing. It brings me to the point of why I'm a very big fan of self-development. It solves a lot of issues, even in relationships, in friendships, a lot of when you work on yourself, people are going to struggle with the version of you they are seeing, and they'll have to match up or as well stay out from your life because if they can't match up with your energy, they're going to feel like, oh, you've changed when you didn't really change. It was just you evolving as a woman and working on yourself as a person. So it was just literally it. And safe to say that I am so glad it was something I did for myself because now I'm enjoying it. And yes, cheers to more weight loss because I'm going to leave this 100 group. I cannot be in 100. I'm going back to way downtown. Fear my return. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and all that good stuff. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Also, I had fun filming these videos.